Um, oh, hang on. Something went wrong. What went wrong? Everybody hang up from this call. Mm-hmm. Hey, hang up and dial me back in. Hey, everyone, hang up and dial me back in. Like, everybody hang up. This internet's fun, you guys. Okay, so we're back live again. I don't know if it's a separate stream or whatever it is, but you know, yeah. Um, I'm gonna choose somebody at New Wave's ass or Sparklight or whatever the fuck it's called. Um, but yeah, you were saying about Osprey.
I was saying I pick Osprey, but I pick Tanahashi instead of Naito in Block C.
But Tanahashi hasn't really been being booked as a real threat in New Japan like in quite some time. Like he's kind of been he's kind of like the veteran who might um you know,
He can always win a block though.
but he hasn't been competitive in the G1 in quite some time. Like not since he won it has he really been like competitive.
How long ago was that he won it? Like
Eight,
3 years?
2018. The
So
year
4 years?
yeah.
It's not that long ago.
But ever since then it's been like he loses and he loses and like I mean like he doesn't get like shut out, but he's not really right there at the end anymore.
What has Naito been doing that makes you think he's primed? Because last time I was watching New Japan, which was, like I said, like 6 months ago, I felt like Naito was kind of just like, he might have even not even been wrestling. I don't remember. Last time I watched New
Oh,
I muted myself.
okay.
Last time I watched New Japan and Naito was a part of it, he just kind of seemed like he was meandering.
I feel the
Have
reason
they
I'm
heated him back up lately?
with kind of the okay, so the only reason I'm picking Naito to win the whole thing, and it could, I mean, like, and that could just be like it could be off the walls, but just kind of the way I'm seeing the writing of all this. So through all of Naito's G1 arcs, there was so Naito beat Tanahashi back in 2013 to wrestle Okada in 2014. when that happened, Naito wasn't the character he is now. People literally didn't accept the character, didn't accept that main event. That they actually voted it out so Tanahashi and Nakamura could wrestle in the main event for the Intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all of this.
So Naito reinvents himself, and his whole goal is to win the G1 to get to main event again, get the title, get his crowning achievement.
And he failed.
And he failed in 2018 against Okada. So he did that, goes through the whole story arc again. Doesn't win the G1 again, but they do the double gold dash in 2020, where they have the G1 winner, Ibushi, wrestle Okada night one. And then,
the most anticlimactic way for that story to finish.
But whenever he finally was getting his big moment to finally triumphing in the Tokyo Dome, the Bullet Club and Kenta interrupt the moment, interrupt his big speech and his big crowning achievement, and take it away from him. So they do that. So I'm wondering, with Jay White as champion, the smarmy, slimy, the way they want to use him, the ultimate bad guy of New Japan, whether or not I agree with that or not. Maybe they finally have Naito win it one more time. He's conquered all of his demons somehow. He conquered his demons to get the main event, but then couldn't come up against Okada, his big rival. He finally conquers Okada, but doesn't get his moment. Maybe this is where he conquered, he finally gets it all. Like, this is fun. Like, okay, you've gotten this. And he gets his moment, and then after this, it's kind of like, okay. The true final ending to the Naito arc. He gets, not only does he win, he gets to celebrate, and he gets to ride off and do whatever. That's kind of what has
the evil again.
Yeah, to lose to a failure like Evil. But maybe that's the kind of the only thing that has me thinking that. Yeah, that could just be me, fantasy booking too much in my mind, but I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't know. I haven't been following it closely enough to know.
Neither have I, but
they've built him up. But I do feel like they really botched him anyway.
Naito's kind of the character, like, he always has to have something to fight against, and once he's reached... once Naito has reached this conclusion, there's nowhere else for him to go.
Also, my problem with Naito, if we're sticking with just Japanese things, if New Japan was an anime, Naito has had the most filler arcs of any wrestler. I feel like they stretched that story that was like a 2-season story out into 8 seasons. I really feel like they fumbled him when he should have. That's just me.
Well, I mean, the Evil thing failed, but one of the things I thought was clever about the whole Evil side of things was Naito won the title one other time before. And he won it, like, didn't win it cleanly and won it dirty. And then he lost the title right back. And kind of the story arc was, yeah, you won the title, but you're not ready to be the champion yet. And that's kind of what they told with Evil's like, yeah, sure, you can win it, but you're not ready to keep it. And Naito had to go through another arc to, Naito had to slay more demons before he could be that guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the story they told. The first one is like, okay, sure, yeah, you can get help from your friends, and you can get the satisfaction of saying you've won the belt, but you're not the guy. You haven't earned
Mm-hmm.
that yet. And everything else leading up to 2020 was like, okay, now Naito can be the champion. He is the guy. He's the Shuyaku. But you know he hasn't had his pomp and circumstance, and maybe this has been giving him the pomp and circumstance. And then finally, this whole thing can conclude. You know,
Maybe.
maybe not. Like it could be Shingo. He hasn't had that achievement yet. Could be Osprey. Um, Osprey is U.S. champion though, so
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna be doing something else. That's the
He's
only
headed
reason.
toward what's his face, right? My guy.
Juice,
No, the guy that came out and after Forbidden Door. Why can't I think of his? Literally my
Shibata,
favorite Japanese wrestler. I can't think of his name.
Shibata, maybe.
Shibata. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But Juice still has possession of the physical belt. I don't know. Like, it's hard to pick a winner. Like, I will give them this credit. It's really. It's not anyone's year, but like, it's not like years past where it's like it's gonna be Ibushi, oh it's gonna be Okada, oh it's gonna be Naito, it's gonna be Kenny. Like it is
Mm-hmm.
a much more open. Uh, it's a much more open bracket right now than in years past. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. Like I haven't felt this excited about New Japan since you know
Mm-hmm.
since before the pandemic. So I'll give them that credit. And yeah, and that is the show. We're not going to do a big outro because we're probably going to get cut off again. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for bearing with us. We'll see you next time.